You're we're live.
Howdy, everybody.
Hey.
This is the Lindy show.
No,
The Lindy Show.
switch. Stick in the little
Here,
corner.
this is
I
what
want
I
the
was.
naughty
Yeah,
Oh, God.
Hey.
there we go. That's what I was trying to do before when I got stuck with the stupid hand and I had to back out of here. Anyway, oh man. Well, this is a crash test. If you see us hit the wall, you'll know
Right?
why we're checking out new software.
Yeah, and we don't have Michael pushing buttons, so love you, Michael. Hope you feel better soon.
Exactly. Oh no, I forgot to pull up the chat. We probably got people in here.
Yep, we got one comment from Cheryl Edwards. Hi from Wisconsin. Hello, Cheryl.
Ah, hey.
Hey, awesome.
Can you click Can you click those two and get them up there, or what do you guys
Nope.
can't?
Nah.
Okay.
No.
We're trying to figure out a new streaming platform for a really fun event that we can't talk about just yet, but we will. And you guys are going to love it. So it's coming.
Right.
But don't ask any questions because we won't crack.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
So what are you seeing on your end?
so I see we have 22 people watching. Let's see.
Okay.
So Lindy has 10. You have on YouTube, you have 7. Or no, yeah, you have 7 on YouTube. Am I not on? Oh no. Oh, there we go. There we go. I got 5 now. I got 5 just popped on. I was like, how do I not have anybody on here? But I have 0 on Facebook, 0 on X. I got 5 on my channel on YouTube. You have 2 on your Facebook, Adam.
Oh,
0
cool.
on X, 11 on Limitless Lindy's YouTube, and 9 on Adam's. Okay, so that's what we see.
Oh,
I
nice.
see all the chat, just like this is basically just like StreamYard. It's a little bit different. Yeah, it's pretty much like StreamYard. So
Very cool.
yeah,
Say D. Lee. Hello, D. Lee. What's up?
All right,
Oh,
let's start.
comments are coming in. I forgot to stream it on Facebook, so never mind. Next time.
Oh yeah, and we can even star them just like in StreamYard. So
Nice.
howdy from Toronto.
Hey, Marnie Mac.
Hey, Marnie, how's it going?
Oh, looks like Lindy's got a new member. There you go.
Whoa, cool.
Oh, hi, Annalise. Love you.
That is awesome.
Yay.
Josephine.
Hi, Josephine.
Howdy, beautiful people. I think she's still talking to us, and we know she's talking to Lindy, but I think
Right.
I think she's including us in there for out of pure politeness.
Oh, we're all beautiful carnivores.
Howdy, Jim.
Atlanta. Nice.
They're coming in now. Wow, definitely. Okay, we're actually starting to get some chat now.
Oh, nice.
Definitely.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions, carnivore questions or keto, whatever it is, if you guys got any questions for any of us about anything, just make sure that you keep it rated E for everyone, and we're good to go.
For sure. Yeah. Jeremy, from what do you got coming up lately? Adam, you got any fun interviews or lives, or you're working so much on the documentary that I wouldn't be surprised, but what do you got going on?
Yep, I am. Well, I just got done with an interview today with a lady that struggled with mental illness for 40 years of her life, and she finally found a book by, I want to say the lady's name is Jamie Ross, called The Mind Cure or something like that. I can't remember exactly. I'd have to look at my notes. But she read that book about 7 years ago, and it talked about animal fats and proteins and mental health, and how, that's really the right fuel to help fix things. That was kind of the precursor to Dr. Palmer's book and Dr. Ead's book. And she started in on that and completely healed herself after about 1 year eating animal-based and carnivore diet. So, but she had been hospitalized so many times in mental hospitals, it's just tremendous. The amount of things that she had wrong with her. I can't even imagine somebody going through all that. She had a tremendous, I just can't even say enough about the human body. I mean, everything that she had organs that were prolapsing out of her body. Like just so many terrible problems. And, she's all healed now and looking healthy. She was severely underweight. I think she weighed 75 pounds for decades, into her, being a grown adult, into her 30s and 40s. And
Wow.
she's all completely healed now, perfectly healthy weight. She doesn't have any schizophrenic episodes and things like that. So it's a very uplifting story for sure.
That is super incredible. Isn't it awesome how, we're told things that aren't supposed to heal? And I'm questioning all that now. I'm questioning, like, when people say, well, yeah, but that can't heal, whatever it is. I keep hearing that a lot because my congestive heart failure wasn't supposed to be able to heal, and my lymphedema is not supposed to be able to heal. Yet I don't think I have anything in congestive heart failure left. I'm going to find out because I'm going to get an echocardiogram here very shortly. But I don't
Awesome.
have any symptoms of it whatsoever. And my lymphedema is definitely 95% healed.
Yeah,
And
mine
so,
too.
yeah,
Right.
and
Yeah.
so, but how many times have you heard, Lindy, that that can't heal? Those lymphedema doesn't heal.
Oh, for sure, all the time. Yeah,
Yeah,
and definitely diet is a big thing, but they tell you eat grains and eats fruit and veg. You go to the website for lymphedema, the diet's all wrong. I
for
just eat
sure.
meat and I've got no pain. I've got no swelling. It's all fantastic now.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Mm.
And
Yep.
so I just question all of it. I'm like, I think it can all heal. I think they've been telling us this bullshit because they didn't want us to even try. You know, if they
Yeah.
Right.
tell you, oh no, you have, I loved what Dr. Kilt said the other day in one of the SPG meetings. He said, if you label it, you enable it.
Oh
And
yeah.
I love that. I've been trying to say something very similar to that when I say that I think the doctors love to give all these diagnoses and labels to all these different things. They like to try to cut it up because then they can medicate or, treat with medication each one of those individual things when it's
Mhm.
all pretty much the same problem. Like it's just a
Yeah.
different symptom from the same disease.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like type 2 diabetes. My doctor was like, "Oh, you haven't cured it, you're just in remission." And I'm like, "Okay, what happens when you go back and eat normal foods again?" Well, if I'm in remission, I want to stay this way. I'm not going back to those normal foods. I will stay carnivore. So to me, I know it's not cured. The same with lymphedema. I'll always have it for the rest of my life, but I can manage it really well with carnivore. I don't need to have the pain. I don't need to have the swelling. Just eat my meat. So,
Got our first question. Why do I feel so flipping good on carnivore?
hmm. Was that a trick
proper
question?
proper human diet. It's the PhD. That's what I think. It's not it's not the standard American diet of poison and drugs.
Right.
That's really all the standard American diet is. Even if you follow the food pyramid, it's poison and then drugs.
Mhm. Yeah. I
Meat and
tell you what.
marriage.
Go ahead, Lindy.
I was just going to say, Meat and Marriage have a fantastic YouTube channel. If you want to go and give them some love, that would be lovely.
I'm going to check it out right now.
Yay.
Is it husband and wife or?
They are husband and wife team.
Okay.
They've got a really cool channel. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
I just subscribed.
Yes, Beth, I can see Adam's chat here and he can see his chat too. So yeah, we're working out a new platform. We're gonna have it figured out here momentarily.
Yep. I can see the chat, but I can't comment back in this software. I have to go on my channel and comment back there. So it'll be interesting to, like, once we're made co-hosts or whatever, if that's
Yeah.
a thing, that like in StreamYard, for instance, it likes, like, say the three of us are streaming, and if I'm a co-host on somebody's channel that I'm streaming to and I comment in the chat down there, it only goes to my channel. It doesn't go to all the other channels. So we see all the comments from all the channels, but if I comment, it only comments on my channel, which is kind of weird because if somebody's saying something to me from another channel and I comment back, it only goes to my channel and nothing's ever communicated. So it'd be interesting to see if this acts
same.
differently.
And I'll go play with that later. I tried playing with the team tab, and it just wanted admins. And this is something that's crazy because on StreamYard I could have 3 admins for like $100 a month and 8 slots. Well, this gives you way more people, but to get 3 admins on this, which is Restream, it's $300 a month. So it's like,
Wow.
But for $100 a month, you can get a lot more streaming platforms and 2 admins for $100 a month. So it's like, so
right.
Like, I'm trying to figure out if I want to triple it or not. I don't know. I'm gonna.
Do they have another level? Like StreamYard has admin and it has co-host.
Well, I didn't see one. That's why I got to go back to that. I would mess around with it now, but I'd probably tank our live stream because I don't see that button.
Yeah,
Right.
you've already broken it once this morning. You don't want to break it again.
I won't hit any more buttons, but when I get out of here, that I will go back and look at that and see if there's sub tiers of admin instead of like a co-host or something.
Right.
Anyone who uses the vibration plate, this is Slow Life School. Anyone who uses a vibration plate, how long do you do it for? I can't stand it for more than 3 minutes at a time. Can you sit and do it? Yeah, absolutely. Definitely sit and do it. You can lay down and put your, like, literally one of the things that I like to do is lay on the floor and then put my calves on it, because then it elevates your legs above your heart while it's vibrating. And then that'll help it, get to your core as well. Pro tip, I found out this is, and also when I was listening, also for everybody, we're having, thanks to Adam here, introducing us to Leslyn Keith, Dr. Leslyn Keith. She's going to be on Sunday to give us a pro tour tip, a PowerPoint presentation on just what to do for lymphedema and treatments. And we will ask her some of this. So definitely bring your questions on Sunday. But what I found, and from listening to Adam's interview with her, which also go check that. I'm going to figure out how to go get that link and put it in the chat here too on Adam's video. Just check that out, because I knew instinctively when I was doing Wim Hof breathing to fix my lungs, it was making my lymphedema better. And I found out those breathing exercises open up the lymphatic system in your diaphragm, and that helps the fluid move. So when I try to do Wim Hof breathing 3 rounds before I get on the vibration plate, and then I like to lay on the floor and put my calves on it, and then I do that for 5 minutes, and then I stand on it, and I do air squats on it while it's vibrating to try to pump my calves. Like, I squat down, but then I go all the way up on my tippy toes, back down. I do that like in sets of 30 to try to get the fluid off in the first thing in the morning. And if I do that first thing in the morning, I feel so much better. How about you, Lindy?
Nice.
Yeah, I've got mine under my desk, so I use mine sitting. I don't stand on it, and it works beautifully. If I didn't have this, when I get up off the chair, I'm like a 90-year-old woman. I'm just really stiff and sore. But because I have this going while I'm working, I can just bounce up, do what I have to do, come back and sit down. So it does loosen everything up, gets everything moving. So sitting down, definitely.
That's awesome. What I want to know is are you guys ever going to get to the point where you put it on like a hoverboard with an extension cord?
I think so. I don't know why not. They say that hoverboard from Back to the Future, that they can actually make that. And so absolutely, I'm going to ride that sucker. I could ride this thing for 5 minutes at a time on 60. I put it on, the 6.0 Richter scale, which that'll shake your milkshake for sure when you're on high.
That's awesome.
And I put it on that thing, and yeah, I think it's I don't know, it's like a mechanical bull for your lymphatic system or something.
Yeah.
It gets pretty rough. It's pretty funny.
Mine has 2 settings. I've got a really gentle setting, so I always start with that first, and then I go up to disco mode, which is really pump, pump, pump. You don't start off with the disco mat because the mode it hurts first thing in the morning. So yeah, just start with a gentle one first, and don't overdo it. If you're feeling pain, and just slow down, stop, have a bit of a rest, and try again later. But hopefully yours has a couple of modes as well. So just start off gently.
First day that I was doing it, I kind of go big or go home is my always been my
Oh, you did disco mode, didn't you?
Right.
disco mode. I had it on 6.0, and then I had a cramp in my upper thighs on the inside that was in a muscle that I didn't even know I had. And what was terrible about it is it cramped up hard, and I was laying on the ground going, I don't know what to do. You know, when you get a calf cramp, you know which way to bend, stretch your calf to stretch it out. I got cramps on the inside of my thighs, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. There's no way to stretch this. Just banging on my leg, like I don't even stop because you know how intense those could be sometimes. I'm like, I wasn't ready for this. I don't know what to do from here.
That's funny. That's happened to me a couple times back when I was drinking coffee, and I'd get the cramp on my shin in the front, and then the calf in the back. You know, depending on which way you move your foot,
Oh,
and you're like, "Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no!" And then finally, you're just like, "Oh, I got to get up and get out of bed now and try to walk around," and it's super
Right.
painful.
uh,
I know. I'll
my
have some of
toes are
those.
cringing.
I know.
my toes are curling just thinking about
Right.
Oh, those are so bad. So I feel for you there. I've done that a couple of times. I'll sometimes get one on the side of my right or my left leg where
Mhm.
I can't figure out what to do with that either. And I feel it coming on. I'm like, oh, nope, that's that one I can't do. And I got to throw the blankets off and get up, start walking around.
Right.
I'm like, oh, go away, go away.
That's funny.
Let's see. Let's see here. I wasn't paying attention. I put the link to that awesome interview with Leslin Keith on Adam's Carnivore Today, which was awesome. It's the best.
Yeah,
It is the best
it was so
information
good.
on the lymphatic system I've ever seen. That's why I was like, I got to take that lady when she was talking about Bill and she
Mhm.
mentioned his apron. You know, because that's like I've never had a belly that stuck out. I've always just had this long, flat belly, and I mean since I was like 12, maybe
Mhm.
10, right? But she said something that just blew me away when she said, "Does Bill have an apron?" But then she goes, did he have problems breathing?" And that's when my world is was shocked because I was in the hospital from the time I was like 16 or 17 until probably 26 or 28. And I had every test and I saw a pulmonologist, lung specialist, heart specialist. They checked my heart. They checked my lungs. They checked my liver. They checked my kidneys. They're trying to figure out why my oxygen was only 88% and why I had such a terrible time breathing. And she immediately said, "Oh yeah, if you have the lymphatic duct on your spine, if that thing's messed up and the circulation's wrong, you're going to have breathing problems." Well, I was the poster child for what she just described there,
Yeah.
and I no, they could never figure out what to diagnose me with on the lungs.
Wow.
That was incredible what she was talking about because I had never heard that before. You know that all that lymphatic fluid goes essentially around your spine,
Yeah,
and that it could do what's called reflux. You know, so those fluids will end up going back into your lungs and causing the
yeah,
breathing issues and all that stuff, and going into your other organs, your kidneys and liver and everything else. So
makes
that's really
so
interesting. I never knew that.
it is so interesting, and it is so I mean, I am the poster child for that exact thing. I am certain of it. I would bet anything that that was what was happening to me my whole life. Literally, the last time I was there to the doctors, they said, "Well, we don't really know what's going on with you, but the closest thing that you match in the book is called reactive airway disease. So we're going to say that you have that. We're going to treat that and see if it gets better." So they gave me inhalers, Advair, like $500 worth a month and crap. Yeah, just exactly. They gave it to me, and I'm taking this stuff, and I'm taking nebulizer treatments of steroids. Nothing works, right? If I and I
Mm.
mean, it feels like I'm gonna die sometimes if I go out. Like I remember I got my four-wheeler stuck in the snow in the winter, and I was just trying to dig out my four-wheeler, and I almost died in my own driveway just with a little bit of exertion, just because my lungs, it felt like an elephant was sitting on my chest by the time I got in the house.
Oh my
I was
goodness.
sitting there, I had put oxygen on. I had it at my house because I was so used to this. And I mean, I'm 25 and I go in the house and I check my oxygen, and my pulse ox only registered at 56% oxygen saturation. That was one of the first times, and they put me in the ICU. Yeah. When I got there, I was like, man, my oxygen was so low. I just had to come in. And my doctor said, your oxygen wasn't low. They said, oxygen saturation in the 50s is not conducive to life. It'll kill you. What are you thinking? You got to get in here. And I'm like,
Wow.
what is this? That's why it is such a miracle right now. I have no breathing problems. I'm 96% saturation as I'm sitting here. I have
That's
zero
awesome.
breathing problems for the first time in my life. And I mean, this has followed me since I was a young kid. And for a long time, I blame this on the weight, because I'm like, look, when I feel this bad and I can't breathe ever, it's really hard to be very active when, that's why they called it reactive airway disease, because they said whenever you do something strenuous, you have a terrible asthma attack and we don't know what's causing it. So that's what the reactive part. And they said it happens with people that, because this really got tipped off bad. It aspirated it when I was breathing Corbon fumes. But anyways, it went off, and I guarantee you she just pegged what was happening, and nobody else. How did no doctors know that? And specialists, lung specialists didn't know that for almost 20 years of my life. And I can't tell you how many tens of $1,000s worth of tests. I mean, that's why this makes me so mad when I hear these doctors say stuff like, ooh, Dr. Google over here. It's like, well, I'll tell you what, Dr. Google's a hell of a lot smarter than the 15 years of specialists that I've seen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like, man.
It's really cool too. So my wife actually is the one that found Dr. Leslin, and because my wife is an occupational therapist, so she was actually looking online for the legality of sharing dietary or nutrition advice with patients, especially in terms of, if you're a licensed occupational therapist from the state, like my wife is, and other people like that, if there's any certain rules and stuff like that to follow. And she came across that occupational therapist, Leslin, and it looked like she was involved with ketogenic therapies with her occupational therapy work. And she sent that link to me, and I'm like, holy cow, this lady seems like she's really legit. And then once I connected with her, found out she's actually a full carnivore. That was really cool.
She's such a good find. Yeah.
So good.
Looking forward to chatting with her soon. Yep.
Yeah. See, let me go to the next one here. I just
got some more questions, I think.
Yeah, let's pop. Let's see. Where were we?
You're driving.
I know, and I'm so behind. I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing. I'm gonna box this up while I keep looking. You guys can read on that while I keep.
Who's normally doing this?
Michael.
And Michael's got a toothache, so he didn't hop on with us.
That sucks.
Yeah.
So Lisa, I was diagnosed with MS about 10 years ago and would not have found carnivore. I believe I would be crippled by now. Only meds were offered to me.
Sorry if I missed anybody's. Here we go. If I started seeing some cues here, definitely put a Q before your question. Now I got some. There we go.
Yeah, good job, Lisa. I'm glad you found carnivore.
Absolutely.
Okay, someone in comments on Bill's last video said he doesn't believe that the vibration plate does anything. Todd set him straight. Oh my God. I've been using mine for 3 years under my desk, 4 years now, and it is a lifesaver. I wouldn't have been able to walk at all. So
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I mean the neuropathy that it fixed in my legs,
Yeah.
Like I don't know what percent it helped, right? I don't, because I was doing a lot of things. Part of it was that I got a bed that raised my legs so I could sleep with my legs elevated to drain that stuff off at night. Part of it was Wim Hof breathing. A giant part of it was getting rid of all the inflammation through the carnivore diet and eating the proper human diet. A big part of it was priming with the SBG gang and eating enough that my body healed. A big part of it was amino acid therapy that helped my body heal. But also just as big of probably any of those was that shake weight. When I put my legs on that, which anybody will tell you, if you get the lymphatic system moving, and I had such hard, thick, like masses on my legs that I needed to break up, that it was just invaluable. And as soon as I got those broken up, the fluid started moving. As soon as the fluid started moving, my nerves were healing, and I got to move my toes again. Like, I mean, it's no shortage of a miracle.
Yeah.
Like I got nerve function back. And that's why when I saw Bill and he was saying he's having nerve problems, I'm like, man, if I know how much fluid I have when I sit, and I know how you get very sedentary when you're that big, I'm like, it's got to be neuropathy from the lymphatic system. All that pressure and that swelling and constantly on your nerves doesn't let
Yeah.
blood flow get there. It's awful. So it does. Maybe you're using it wrong.
Yeah, and even now I've lost a lot of weight and my lymphedema is so much better. I don't have the swelling that I did before, but I still flare up occasionally and it's still helping me today. So I think if you've got, maybe that person doesn't have lymphedema, maybe he doesn't have neuropathy, so it's got nothing to fix, so it's not going to work. But for someone in our position where we were very sedentary, couldn't move a lot, we've got their lymphedema, it's invaluable. Yeah. You, me, Michael, Bill, 4 of us in 600-700 pound range. We've all benefited from it. So
Yeah, and you guys talk about it like it's such a great thing that I want to buy one now just to try it.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it really has made the biggest of differences. And, it's just, like, I even want, like, if, what's his name? Ethan Suplee, the actor who lost all that weight. He's got a podcast now called American Glutton. He even uses those shake plates in his gym, not for lymphatic system, but he will do stretches and he'll put his arms on them and he'll stay there because he said it helps his bench pressing and because it pushes blood to all the muscles. So before he lifts, it's like a cheat code for stretching and to get blood and oxygenate the muscles before he lifts so they gets warmed up and so he doesn't tear something. So he will just kind of do a plank on top of it, or he'll do push-ups on top of it to shake everything up and get the blood flowing and get the lymphatic fluid flowing. And then he'll turn around, he'll put just his toes on it and he'll plank and do push-ups on it. And it warms up his legs and it warms up his back and his shoulders and his arms. So that when he goes and lifts, he's got plenty of blood flow and oxygenated, tissue when he's ready to go lift. And so
right.
saying it does nothing. I keep watching too many prominent people using it for a lot of things. I think it's got to be doing something for sure.
Yeah.
It's supposed to increase bone density too, isn't it, or something like that?
Yeah, it is. I can believe that.
I have lymphedema and want to purchase a vibration plate. Which one is recommended? There are too many choices.
The Life Pro one is what everybody seems to love. It's one I got, and it goes to 500 pounds. So,
yeah, mine's just a cheap version, and I've broken it because, I did want something that could hold my weight, and I couldn't find anything at the time. In Australia, Life Pro's not. They're very expensive here, so mine is a cheaper version. But I guess you get
to the Life Pro guy if he knows how to get one of his products to in Melbourne.
Around, so the broken bit's against the wall now, and I just have my feet on the one side. But it still works. It's okay. But I will get one day. But yeah.
All right, let's see. Am I missing anything?
I wonder how big is that shake plate? Because when we come to film you, Lindy, in Australia, I wonder if that'll fit in the overhead.
It would fit. It would fit in the carry. It wouldn't fit in the carry-on, but you could check it. It would definitely fit in a suitcase. It'll be heavier than
Yeah, it's
Jesus,
heavy though. They're very
Right.
heavy. Yeah,
but it
burnt.
would. Oh, DC's got chili plates are also good to warm up your. Yeah, exactly. Like I was just saying, to warm up your muscles, but also to exercise on because you incorporate more muscle to support the joints and balance. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that
Oh, good.
when I'm doing if I do my 30 air squats, sets of 30 air squats on the ground, and then I go do it on the shake plate, they are 4 times harder to do on the shake plate. I will be rubbery, jello-y legs on the shake plate versus doing them on the floor for sure.
Absolutely.
That'd be a great way for the guy to get some adverts. Send one to Lindy, just repackage it as something else.
There you go.
Uh,
Repackage it as a giant box of nutty bars or something.
exactly. Well, not that because Lindy, plug your ears. I was trying to look at how to send Lindy some snacks from the U.S. and they get all mad when you try to send food over to.
That's crazy.
That's why I'm coming to you guys in Texas, and I want carnivore bar, and I want a packet of those chicken snacks. So is it carnivore crisp or something? Yeah, I'm going to try those. So hopefully they've got a booth at KetoCon or a Hack Your Health, and I'll be trying those for sure. But yeah, we
Is
can't get them
Carnivore Bar
down
going to
here.
be there?
Oh, I hope so. Otherwise, I'll have to find
I think
one.
I
Hunt
heard
one
they will.
down.
Yeah, they said there was going to be a bunch of booths with all that stuff in it. Like, man, I can't remember. There was one that I was actually interested in trying, but I believe Carnivore Bar. Yeah, because are they the one that got? Is it Carnivore Bar or Carnivore Chris that got shut down?
Not Carnivore Crisp, Carnivore Snacks.
Carnivore Snacks. That's right.
Yep. And they're right
Yeah.
here in Columbus, Ohio, right about an hour from me.
So what are they doing about that? Because it's such horse crap that they came, that the FDA or whatever passed them and then decided, oh, never mind. Like how can you not sue them for something like that?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what's going on, but I know it's a bunch of red tape garbage that's going on with that. So it sounds like, I don't know all the specifics. I mean, the company could be in the wrong for all I know, but it doesn't sound like they are.
No, it didn't sound like it. It sounded like an attack, but yeah, like you said, you got to find out all the stuff, but crazy.
I'd love to find an equivalent to all of that in Australia, though, so that we can benefit from some of those cool products. If anyone's looking for a business venture, I'll promote you.
They're going to help you smuggle. Dee's going to help you smuggle it on the plane, Lindy.
Okay, gotcha.
Right.
You might have to take some of your old clothes with you, and when you go back on the plane,
yeah, just pack it all in. Yeah, get some pockets under.
That's funny. I'm trying to find out right now on Hack Your Health if Carnivore Bar is going to be there. So I'm actually a affiliate for them. So if anybody wants a discount or whatever, I think it's 10% off. Carnivore Today is the discount code for Carnivore Bar. I know they're expensive, and I keep some on hand for days like this weekend, where we're photographing somewhere around 600 kids, and it's going to be 2 10-hour days nonstop. So there's no breaks or anything like that. So we start, shoot 10 hours, and then we break down. And there's like an hour setup time. So it's really going to be like 12 hours continuous. And on days like that, I'll bring a couple of those carnivore bars, and that's all I got to eat. Just nibble on that a little bit, and it's more than enough energy and fuel for the day for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Definitely try that.
But I don't eat them like a snack, like I'm eating chips or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that purse bacon. Just have something in your bag just for the time when you're out and about and you don't want to mess up and go off plan. Sometimes there's nothing to eat, and
yeah, oh, sorry, go ahead. I was just putting up that Carnivore Stacks are my favorite chips of all the meat chips that exist, and I tried many.
Yeah.
Sure.
Looks like carnivore snacks will be at Hack Your Health.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
So,
cool. Oh, well, we'll try that one.
hopefully they'll be having a petition or something to sign, you know?
Yeah, no doubt.
Let's see here. After losing so much hair in the last 6 weeks and ongoing dizzy spells, I just looked down and I have a huge bruise on the side of my hand. I have no idea what I did. Just appeared. I'm a bit scared. Oh no.
Oh no.
Hmm.
Sorry
After
to hear that.
You didn't get bit by a spider, did you, Sandra? Does it look like it might be a bug bite? I just say that because
You
I
got
don't
bit by a
know.
vegan.
That could be real bad. You could turn into a snotty snowflake werewolf. But I'm finally growing it back. But like 5 years ago, I got bit by one of those. They actually called it a black recluse, is what they called it. I lost all the hair right here on my chin, but I was sick for 3 days and I couldn't figure out why. And they finally went to the doctor and it was from that spider bite. And I was dizzy, had a massive migraine, was really sore and cranky. And so that's why I was wondering if something like that happened because it could be if you have a bruise, there might be a spider bite where that bruise is, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, my husband had red dots on the back of his hand, went into the doctors, he was a little bit worried, and they said he might have shingles. So he was feeling a bit unwell and stuff, but it's all gone now. We don't know. They just said, take a photo of it. If you keep getting more spots, come back. But it just went away. But they were really weird, like 3 or 4 spots. But yeah, bruising. Yeah. I bruise very easily. And sometimes I don't realise I knock myself. So maybe that's it. Don't know.
Yeah, they are very aggressive little buggers. But also tomorrow is going to be kind of exciting for us. We have Shauna Steele coming on. We're going to bring up he was on My 600-Pound Life, and right, or was this?
No, he actually tried to get on My
He
600-Pound
tried
Life, but
to.
never. He didn't get through. But
He
he
didn't.
had gastric bypass. Yeah, with another
Okay, so,
doctor.
and he does My Six. So he tried to get on My 600-Pound Life. He does the videos, reaction
Yeah.
videos, and he's lost a ton of weight. And it's going to be really fun conversation with him tomorrow because he's gonna tell his story about the pros and cons that he found with gastric sleeve, and then we're gonna talk about because really there's only 2, possibly 3 ways that you really see people our size losing weight and keeping it off, and that's bariatric surgery, now Ozempic, which will see what the cost of the long-term cost of Ozempic really are,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and then carnivore. Like those are the only 3 that you really see people losing massive amounts of weight. And so I really wanted Lindy had a great idea to bring him on because I really want to open up the conversation so that people that are looking at Ozempic and gastric bypass can be, we kind of need to get into that realm too so that they can see that there's another option. Like if they wanted to try something before they do something so permanent, because the beauty of carnivore is you don't have to do anything that drastic, and it actually it really pays you back. It heals a lot of things, and I really think if people try it, i know that you get so sick of trying all these diets that are supposed to work and they don't. But if people just, I'm right there with you. I get so mad because I think if I would have tried carnivore 25 times like I did the standard American diet and calorie restrictive diet, if I would have put all my energy into carnivore back then, I would probably be the healthiest person. Like if I took all that effort and bottled it up and put it into carnivore, like the result would have been crazy, right? Because we all
Mm-hmm.
get so beat down by trying the things that they say work, but they're the wrong answer. They're not real.
Yeah.
So
And surgery is not always the option for me, especially. I had the lap band surgery. It didn't fix the root cause of my problem. I still didn't get that off switch that I was missing all my life. So I still managed to get up to 750, 800 pounds. Carnivore has given me that off switch, and now I know how to moderate. I can moderate now. Like, who would have thought Lindy could moderate food? And I feel like I'm strong enough to do that now. So I'm gone from being an abstainer, and in 2 years, I can now sit in front of a packet of Tim Tams or chocolate biscuits, whatever you call it there, and not even think about it. Like, it doesn't faze me. And I just look at it and I just think, poison, I don't want it. Give me a ribeye, give me some steak, or and I'm more than happy with that. So
Absolutely.
Don't those drugs that you inject your belly cause your stomach to be paralyzed? That's what I heard. And I'm not an expert, but you know, my first thoughts on that crap, that Ozempic and stuff, or is it Ozempic and whatever the other one is. I think there's 3 of them now.
Minjana or something,
Manjara or something, yeah. And there's another one, but they when they were putting it out with a coupon for like $100 a month for 3 months, and then what they don't tell you is after that they take your coupon away, and then it was $1,500 a month. I don't know if it's still this way, but it was a year and a half ago when I was just starting Carnivore, and I was in these crowds and I was listening to these people talk about it, and I looked into it. Dude, there was TikTok and chat groups and Reddit groups going, does anybody have a coupon code? Does anybody have a code? Like crackheads trying to get $1,400 off. And I mean, you watch these like, oh, I don't know, like these movies of drug dealing, people, drug dealers and stuff on TV. And they always say, no, you get them hooked with the cheap, your best drug for the cheapest price, and get them hooked. And then once they're hooked, you raise the price and give them junk. I mean, that is literally what it sounded like to me, what they were doing. They're like, no, let's give them a taste of the miracle pill that they always wanted. Let them eat their sugar and lose weight. Give them this shot. Let them do it for 3 months. Let them fit into that skinnier pair of jeans and buy a new shirt or whatever and feel great and look better. And then let's charge them $1,500 a month. I mean, that's a freaking mortgage for most people, right? And it's just like, that is the dirtiest, worst thing I've ever seen in my life, that they would do something like that. So
Yeah.
it's just incredible.
What's crazy is so I've been asking this question about GLP-1 drugs. I'm doing a video project with all the prominent carnivore doctors, and I asked the question to Dr. Baker about GLP-1 drugs, and which is Wegovy and Ozempic and all that. And he brought up a really good point, that it looks like some of the evidence is pointing that not only is it causing hypertrophy, which is like the increase in the cell size, the fat cell size, if once you go off of it, but while you're on it, it's also causing hyperplasia, which increases the number of fat cells that you have. So that when you go off of it, if you have issues with eating or addiction or whatever, now you've got even more fat cells to deal with. So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Exactly. And, I don't know anything about it, but somebody did say that to me once too. And I think this is what it might have been Deb, because Deb, you did Ozempic quite a bit. Ozempic isn't the solution, anyways. I have any Ozempic stories, many Ozempic stories, and I am still dealing with repercussions of wow.
They're just taking advantage of people who are desperate and really, want to lose weight, are struggling. And this is what happens, and then they're stuck with even bigger problems. And that's so sad. They could have put that money towards buying some meat and doing carnivore, getting that off switch that we've all been missing, and getting their life back and healing everything else.
Absolutely.
And that's why we're here to share our story, to hope we can dissuade people from trying these drugs, these chemicals.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that's why I love the idea of, and I want it known 100%. Like if you had gastric bypass or whatever, first of all, I get it. I was there so many times. I was this close to doing it for forever. Because when you're lied to and you're told that you don't have an option, you don't have a choice, and you just get so beat down, like it's so, it's so tempting to do that.
Yeah.
And so I totally get it, and I don't blame anybody for doing it. And if you did it and you're making it work and you're healthier, I mean, absolutely, you're better off having gastric bypass than being 500, 600, 700 pounds and not being able to have any quality of life and just being a prisoner in your body. Absolutely, you're better. I'm not saying that you're not, but I am saying you've tried a lot of diets. I want you to try one more,
Yep.
just one
Yep.
Yeah.
more before you do that, because I think you'll be surprised. Because I was. This was a Hail Mary for me, and Hail Mary for Lindy. She tried the lap band, and this was more effective than all of them. And not only just for the weight, but it healed, like, gastric bypass is not going to heal your congestive heart failure. It's not going to heal your lymphatic system. It might make it better, but we didn't heal our illnesses because we lost weight. We healed our illnesses because we got nourished, and carnivore heals you. Like our bodies are in a proper state of void of inflammation and nourished, and our bodies healed because they're no longer getting poisoned. And so I would love people to be able to get that freedom, because it's one thing to have your have the surgery, but and this is questions I have. I just want to know, when you get the surgery, do you still fight food addiction? And I think Lindy would say probably yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. But now you're restricted. So you literally you eat, you throw up, you eat, you throw up because your body's still craving and wanting food. And that becomes your new life. So the only thing you can have is what we call slippery ship food: ice cream, suck on some chocolate, all the wrong things. There's no way
Right.
you can get a piece of meat down there. It all gets stuck. Pureeing vegetables, it's thick. That gets stuck. And then you drink water, that you'd be throwing that up. And it gets to the point where you eventually start to stretch your stomach. And then when you can start to fit some food in, it hasn't fixed the root cause of the problem. My cravings are still there. I've now discovered, being carnivore, that carbs, just fruit and veg, triggers my craving. I have a little piece of pumpkin at my mother-in-law's house because she made a beautiful roast, and I thought I'll just don't want her to fight and say anything. I'll have a piece of pumpkin, keep the peas. On the way home, I'm craving. I was like, there's McDonald's, there's KFC, and I'm thinking, where'd this come from? And then a little piece of pumpkin. So as soon as I got home, I'd had a couple of pieces of meat. I just did an air fryer and a steak, 3 bites, and they were gone. So I know just that little bit of carb will cause a craving. So I can look out for that now. But back then I didn't know that. So you're trying to feed yourself and constantly craving. So yeah,
Wow. That's got to be tough. I can't even imagine having to go through something like that. And even, getting
mm,
to the point, it's even more frustrating. And, the reason why we all started our channels, because, to try to stop people from having to go through that. It's just so ridiculous that in this day and age, we're supposedly the most technologically advanced, but we can't get something right in terms of nutrition that's
yeah.
so simple. The answer is so incredibly simple that it's mind numbing that we're at this point. They say
So
we're the
true.
most advanced
Yeah.
society on the planet, but I feel like we're the dumbest society on the planet at this point.
Oh, absolutely. I loved who was just saying that the other night. I don't know. They're but talking about to on Joe Rogan or something, but they're saying one of the biggest lies in our generation is that the older generations were dumb and dumb and outdated and not civilized and whatever. And it's
Hmm.
so not true. We have to be the dumbest generation of people that have ever existed on this planet. There's no way, outside of Neanderthals or whatever, There's no way summer
Right.
civilization has ever lived than the one that we are in right now. And I'm including myself in there. We all got drug stupid, food stupid, propaganda stupid, television stupid, public school stupid beat down, and we're we're
Yeah.
all shaking it off and a little bit embarrassed about it. But
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the news in this society should be Lindy's story, should be Todd's story. That's the news. That's what we need to hear, not this garbage that's on the
Yeah.
news now. I mean, it's just I call it the bad news, and I haven't turned it on in forever. I couldn't even tell you who the president is at this point. So
exactly,
I don't care.
it turns out he's a vegan, and by a vegan I mean he's a vegetable.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But
So black band surgery was supposed to be the cure for me, and when you fail that and all the other diets, it really does a job on your confidence and just your will to live. It's like I am a total failure in life. Failed all the diets, failed lap band surgery. I'm a nothing. So that's
Mhm.
what I've lived with for the last 50 years.
Jody Hayes, thank you so much. My hat's not going to fit though if you keep saying nice things about me. We got here in YouTube.
I'm waiting for you to cut the bill of that thing off, Todd, and turn it into a baseball cap. That was awesome.
I was awesome. I saw that and I was like, I might have to do that with a straw hat because that would be. It's a little redneck for sure, but it would be so. Now that I'm losing weight, I'm thinking about playing softball again because it's fun, just a fun time with the guys. I'm like, I could make a straw cowboy ball cap. It'd be a cowboy cap, or
There you go. Just put your little mullet in the back there.
I would have to grow a mullet for sure, and I would have to have like fuzzy dice and truck nuts on my truck. Like you can get
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's funny.
Yeah.
I
do.
noticed what David said in that earlier comment about hyperplasia happening during a hormonal imbalance. So I wonder if that must be what's happening with
Yeah.
the GLP-1 drugs, is it's just wrecking your hormones to cause that situation to happen.
Yeah, hyperplasia and fat cells usually only happens during birth and pregnancy. When it happens outside of those times, it's due to severe hormone disruption.
And that's
Absolutely.
scary, thinking
Yeah.
they're
It
playing
is.
with your hormones.
And then let's build off of that, right? So I've been saying that what happened to me was insulin resistance as an infant. That's why I grew so big so quick from the day I was born, right? And now we have a pandemic of insulin resistant babies. This was another thing that Leslin said that was amazing because she said insulin resistance causes a lymphatic breakdown. I'm like, okay, well, there we go. So insulin resistant baby, what is it? What does high insulin do? What does insulin resistant do? Well, it causes a humongous hormone imbalance because that's why you lose leptin sensitivity. Your hormones are supposed to be like a pie chart and everything's supposed to be balanced. But if insulin comes in and swells up, it squishes all those other pieces and all your hormones are a complete wreck. So I could have had, you got to wonder. I wonder for sure. I'm like, if you get to 700 pounds, do you have more fat cells than most people? And I'm going to say probably,
Mhm.
and it's probably from just what DC's saying right here, a
Mhm.
huge hormone disruption. And the thing is, if some redneck hillbilly retard from Montana can, connect these dots, we know that this is not just, just sliding by people. Oh, gee, we never thought of that. We never, this is being suppressed. This is being
Right.
hidden, I bet if they did, if anybody cared enough to connect those dots, they would find out what they probably are all, the real, the people actually studying this are covering up and already, know this. It's crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's see here.
So are we able to put the names up there? Like channel names or whatever?
Oh, yes.
Or
How do we,
whatever? or does it
Yeah.
automatically hide like StreamYard? Because somebody was just asking about Lindy's channel. Oh,
Okay,
that's cool.
so, sorry,
Adam.
I'm
Well,
clicking,
hello.
I'm clicking buttons, and I don't know how. God save us! I don't know what it did.
Ah.
Get out of here!
Funny.
Phew.
You're
Save.
up there.
There
Sorry,
you go.
I was clicking buttons that I shouldn't have clicked.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we
So
go.
it's who asked that question? I don't know. It went by Mary Shepard. Yes.
Just
At
at
Limitless
Limitless.
Lindy.
Yeah, no spaces.
Go subscribe now.
Please. We're gonna do better. You know what I did love? That we can put a QR code there. So that's gonna be fun for later too, because then we can put QR codes up here. I never thought about that.
Oh, nice.
That'll be really fun. Yeah, I like this. Yeah, the real news, that would be awesome.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm sorry if I'm missing. This is a completely impromptu live stream on new software, and Michael's not here. And so
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I talk too much to be able to keep track enough to catch all the questions. So I'm going back through. So if I missed it, I'm sorry, but we will do better. We're going to be on tomorrow and the next day as well. But thank you so much for joining us. You guys are coming in droves.
Yeah, absolutely. How many we got watching now?
110. We had 114
Oh, wow.
a minute ago. Yeah, it's really cranking up there. You guys are doing.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
Yeah, on a Friday night, 110 people. That's absolutely amazing. You guys are awesome. You guys are rock and roll, man. I love it, and I appreciate each and every one of you for being here and spending some time with us. And hopefully you get something out of this. If you don't, well, we're keeping you away from the bad news. So
exactly, and you can blame it on me.
Right.
But we are doing this for a very good cause, because we have some super exciting news that will be releasing here in the very near future. But we're working behind the scenes to get something, I think epic. A good word for
absolutely.
it. Yeah, set up. So we're super excited, and Michael's like, "Don't say anything, you big blabbermouth."
Right?
Oh, he's telling me that.
We could probably say this. I did talk to the potential sponsor today, and they had to get with their other business partner to see, what they would be able to contribute. So that's sort of good news, I guess.
That's really awesome. That's super awesome. It's really good news, because what turned into an innocent, fun idea grew into an epic juggernaut that I'm loving. Loving what's going on. So I can't wait. Yeah, can't wait to show you, share with you guys. But it's coming, and we will be advertising the heck out of it here soon. But it's gonna be amazing. So
absolutely.
Let's see. Jenna Sullivan says, "Todd, I just got my vibration plate. I have only used it 2 times, but I love it. Thank you for recommending it." Awesome. That's awesome. You owe it all to Michael and Lindy for telling me about it. They're the ones that led me to the light and the healing of those things. So awesome. Let's see here.
Love it.
You keep that hat, redneck. It's okay. Good deal, because I don't have a choice. It's in my DNA now.
Right?
Can somebody ask Todd what his hat size is? Because I believe there's an Akubra waiting with his name on it. I just need a hat size. You won't give it to me.
Ginormous. My hat size is ginormous. When that fella in what's the new admin in SPG? The 7-foot tall guy.
Darren. Is it Darren?
Yeah, I think it's Darren. Yeah, when Darren said because what's Darren's 6'10", right? And which is crazy tall for sure. But he said, he goes, "I wear a size 15 shoe. I didn't have the heart to tell him that I wear a size 16 shoe."
Wow.
Ginormous clown feet. I'm 5'10" and I have a size 16 shoe. I was like, I'm not going to say anything. He's making me feel self-conscious about my clown. A foot taller than me, and my shoes.
Wow. No comment.
I know. Don't.
No, I'm
I was laughing. Oh, did I miss Rick? I see somebody saying Rick Charger Mopar. Hi, Rick. If you're in here, I missed you somehow.
Man, I can't even imagine wearing shoes that big. So my son, he wears size 14s, I think, or 15s, and then things are like freaking tuna boats, man. Like I could jump inside one of those shoes and go fishing, you know.
I guarantee you. I mean, you got to watch out because you'll knock the cat off the table with those things. Just when you feel like you got to be careful where you're leading. No, it's true. Jody, truck nuts are never a little too much. If you live in the country.
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea what a truck nut is. So.
Well, we don't need any visuals, Todd.
Yeah, they're not lug nuts. Let's just put it that way.
They come in many shapes and forms. The people hang them from the hitch of a truck.
Exactly.
To simulate the male bovine.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, right.
Yeah, so when they hang from the hitch so that when you try
they're swinging and
Okay, fair enough. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, there, Deb answered it for you.
Well, there you go. Good to know. I'd love to speak with Ben Bickman as well. He's awesome.
He just confirmed my friend request on LinkedIn today. That's so interesting that you say that.
That's awesome.
And also, Carrie was on a live stream today, and he goes, "Oh, sorry guys, something was going on. The FedEx guy was here, and literally, I was in my car, and as soon as he said that, I was listening on my phone. As soon as he said that, the FedEx guy gets out of the truck behind me and walks up to my house and delivers a package. I'm like, what in the world? What timing?" So I mean, that was the world's fastest FedEx guy to get from Carrie's house to my house in a matter of seconds. You know?
That's so funny. Let's see here. I'm looking. I'm listening to the conversation. I don't multitask worth a darn. I'm like a squirrel. I can only look at one acorn at a time. Dang it. Let's see here.
I seen JJ in the chat there saying hello. How you doing?
So I can't see JJ.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out what is OT. I don't understand what this one means. Ben Bickman has
question. So that's occupational therapy question, maybe.
Okay, but what is IBFO?
He's actually got a series at the moment on fat and insulin, and I've been following those as well. And I actually asked for more information on lymphedema before you met with Dr. Leslie Keith. So he said he was going to do a video on lymphedema because I want to know what the difference between lymphedema and normal fat is like, and lipedema as well, because I have lipedema. And I'm on a diet, carnivore diet, and everything's getting better, but my lipedema fat's not shrinking. Everything else is going, but not the lipedema. So he was going to do a video on that. And he said April, so maybe in the next month would be nice. But we'll definitely be asking Dr. Leslie Keith as well.
Yeah, Leslyn is her first name. Keith is her last name. So
yeah.
Yeah, I'm so glad I found her. She sounded so excited to, kind of be included in the carnivore community. So hopefully that works out for her, with her business and things like that. And in turn, she's going to provide tons and tons of value to people that really need the help for sure.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. I hope she gets her doors beat down because there are so many people. Like, Lindy, can you believe how many people talk to us about lymphedema? It's got to be, if not the number one, the number two subject.
Every second question we get is about lymphedema. Wow. And we've just started a Meat Sisters Facebook private Facebook group, and there's quite a few people in there that have got the same issues, lymphedema, lipedema, asking questions in there. So it is huge. And if you go into the Facebook groups for lymphedema, lipedema, they're all pushing Ozempic and then a sad diet, Mediterranean or something like that. But then they're still suffering from all the pain and the swelling. And anyone that mentions the word carnivore, they just get pounced on. So I'm too scared to open I joined the group because I was interested in the surgeons and following their journeys. People have had the surgery and all that kind of stuff, just for my research. But I'm too scared to even open my mouth in those groups.
Jill tried my chuck roast. That's awesome. I'm so glad you liked it. I think it's delicious. It's one of my favorite ones.
But how'd you do it?
Well, I get one of the 7-pound chuck roasts from Costco. I sear all sides really hot and tallow. And then I deglaze the pan with kettle and fire beef broth, which is the cleanest one I can find without making your own. And then I slow cook it for 9 hours. I take it out. I cut it up like roast beef, but then I add vinegar to the beef broth and fat to emulsify it, a little bit of salt and a tiny bit of xanthan gum, and it turns it into this crazy thick, super awesome brown gravy. And then I just put it in. So it's like sliced roast beef with just crazy brown gravy, and it's wonderful. I really like it.
That's awesome. Sounds delicious. So let me ask you this. Why do you add the vinegar again? I can't remember why.
Because it emulsifies the fat, so it'll bond to the juice, the au jus juice of the beef broth. Instead of the fat floating on top of it, it'll turn those two into a gravy without having to use like flour or to make a roux normally.
Right.
So it brings them together, and then it breaks down that fat. So when I get the fat in, it turns straight into energy. And so my energy is just no joke, 50% higher when I have vinegar and fat together versus when I just have fat. Now,
so
maybe
is it just the energy increase, or were you having problems?
It was just the energy increase. And digestion problems. I was having some digestive problems. It would go from my digestive problems really went away when I did the amino acid therapy, though, because I didn't know this wasn't normal, but it would take me, and I was eating big meals, but it would take me 7 to 9 hours to digest a stomach full of food. So people were like, "Oh, you gotta prime and eat these 3 meals." I'm like, with what hours of the day? Still in there from breakfast, 9 hours later. Well, when I started doing the amino acid therapy, what used to take 9 hours got bumped down to 3.5 to 4 hours. And I was like, oh, that's impressive. My stomach just started eating it. But whatever was going on, I guess, with my gallbladder or something, the vinegar I've always gotten used to it, because if I have vinegar with the fat, it's just like you use it to strip grease off of a pan or off your counter. It's an emulsifier and it breaks it down. So I just get a way higher amount of energy out of it when I have those two together, and I just feel good. I really feel kind of superhuman. I have a crazy amount of just really happy, bright energy, and I just really like it. So I just keep doing it. I love the flavor now. My body craves it. And so, when your body craves something, you like that flavor, and it puts it in everything. So I have a really vinegar palate now. I really like that for whatever reason. So
that's awesome. I was wondering if you were going to say that you had upset stomach or something like that because you were thinking the fat was an issue. And I'm relating to, for over a year now, I've had nausea, fair amount on the carnivore diet, and I thought it was related to histamines and potentially, my body not producing enough bile, and maybe I would have to implement, vinegar and stuff like that, try to emulsify it. But Bella to the rescue. She came out with that video a couple weeks ago about how she doesn't eat salt. And I kid you not, as soon as I stopped eating salt, the nausea is gone 100%.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
Awesome.
That's why I love this community, right? Because I was literally just in Barry's meeting on Wednesday, And Barry was in there and saying, look, I know some people say that there's a trend right now not to eat salt. He goes, but I don't know that there's anything to it. And he goes, and he even said, he goes, in that meeting, he said, somebody said that Chafee's not eating salt now. And he said, I'm here to tell you Chafee eats salt. And I was like, whoa, 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 cowboy. I was in Bella's meeting and I heard with these 2 ears, Chafee, the man himself, say in that meeting that he had recently stopped eating salt because he doesn't eat it anymore. I said, now, full disclosure, I started this year saying that I was going to do a 90-day salt challenge and a 90-day lion diet challenge. I did the 90-day lion diet challenge. I only made it 3 weeks with no salt. I couldn't do it anymore. But I did cut it in half. I cut it down greatly. And to this day, and it still decreases. So I'm at the point where I think from electrolytes to sodium to iodine to all these things that people have, because I'm doing iodine right now and it's a miracle for me right now. But I think we're when we're sick and we're so depleted on the standard American diet, I think we all have dug such a deficiency hole that we have to fill, that we need those things. But I think when we do this for like a year, 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever, I don't think we need it anymore. And we kind of get used to these portion sizes.
Yeah.
So
I think my body adjusted within weeks of starting carnivore because the nausea started like 3-4 weeks after I made the switch, and it had never gone away. Now I reduced the histamine, the egg whites and the smoked meats and the aged beef and stuff like that. And that seemed to help more so with my skin issues than it did with the stomach stuff. But the stomach stuff did go away. I mean, it was like a level 6, 7 without or with eating the histamine. And then it went down to maybe like a 4 or 5 once I cut out the histamine. But it's always been at that 4 or 5 for a year. And I could never figure out what was going on. And it seemed like my blood pressure was high. Like I could just feel the pulsation of the blood, especially around my stomach when I would eat. It was just, I don't know, it just felt weird. I did do blood pressure cuff and stuff like that. My blood pressure was elevated during those times. Couldn't figure out why. And I have, in 2 weeks since I quit salt, 0 nausea and 0 issues with feeling like my blood pressure's high. So not even a reason to check. So I think my body has already adapted, or had adapted that long ago, and the sodium that's in the meat is sufficient enough for me.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
See,
I don't think it's a one size fits all. We need to all do our research and not follow anybody else's journey. We need to find out what works for us.
Right.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
I agree.
Yep, me too. And that's what I'm like, I think, we got to stop saying these absolutes. I hate these absolute camps,
Yeah.
It's just like we got to. That's why people are like, why don't you make videos, Todd? I'm like, I made one video on how to start carnivore, and 3 weeks later, I disagreed with him.
Yeah.
That guy's an idiot.
Right.
And so I think we have enough people pushing agendas and biases and hanging on to like wrong ideology because they got married to it somehow. We don't need carnivore to be in that group. Let's just, if something changes, we get better information. Like, let's actually make this the science instead of making it, make it scientific instead of making it the science. And let's talk about things that are really happening instead of just, that can't happen because it didn't happen to me. Well, there's only 8 billion people on this earth. I'm sure that'd be weird if somebody else had a different experience than you did. You know what I mean? It's like,
right.
So funny. Your hat reminds me of Kevin Costner's hat on Yellowstone. You take that back right now. I was wearing this hat. Well, Kevin Costner's a lot older than me, but he was not always wearing hats. That is a Hollywood look, and this is a true blue Montanan look.
So you're more of a John Wayne guy or a Howdy Doody or what?
I'm a John Wayne guy for sure, but it's just like when you got to be nervous when they when they tell you that you look like something that a Hollywood makeup studio is dressing people in costumes. Like, that's not the look I'm going for.
Right.
But maybe they got it right. Maybe they saw me on YouTube and went, you know what? That son of a gun looks like a Montana cowboy. Maybe that's what.
Right.
But thank you anyhow. I know it was meant to be a.
Well, there you go. Size 15 quadruple E feet.
That'll
Or
do
no,
it.
quintuple E feet. Wow.
That'll do it. That's huge.
I don't even know what quintuple E feet is, but that's pretty impressive.
Isn't the E the width?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. It's the width, and it's pretty big. I mean, you're talking about, like a 2x6 banana boat.
Well, so when do they actually call it flippers? I'm almost there yet.
Right.
Yeah, let's see here. Todd, my feet shrunk weird, right? Lost a full size. They feel good. Nothing. Yeah. See, this is why I think I can wear 14s now, to be honest with you. I still wear 16s, but I have shoes that are size 18s that I was wearing when my lymphedema was so bad because my feet were swelled up. I had size 18s, and 18s, you could, like, I don't know, put a football in them, like 18s are stupid big. That's why Shaq wore a 22. Could you imagine a 22 shoe?
That's like a pillowcase.
And yeah, a pillowcase. You put like a cinder block in it, like one
Right.
of those actual like. Yeah, I mean it's crazy. It is
Wow.
crazy. Yep, tuna boats. Let's see. Scott's got petite feet. He's just wearing a 13 triple E or quadruple E.
No, there you go.
Let's see here. All right, sorry guys, I know I'm behind.
Hurry up, Todd. Let's go.
Oh, she said this was meant to me. That's actually supposed to say at Todd. Didn't they shrink from much weight loss? My son. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they did. I think I could wear 14s now. I don't think I'll ever wear any smaller than 14s, but I bet I could fit into 14s. I'm about to find out because I'm not buying any shoes, pants, or shirts until just before I leave for Austin because I'm the incredible composition changing, shrinking human being. And I'm tired of buying piles of clothes that fit for 3 weeks and then don't fit anymore. And that includes shoes. So I'm not buying anything until just before. Also, these I'll show them someday. They are a joke. I knew better. I didn't even want to bring it up. But on Facebook, there were some boots, and I'm ashamed that I even fell for it. But there's these boots that were like $80, and they're like, "Oh, these are good boots," and I'm like, they don't look like good boots. But I was like, "All right, I'll try it." I heard about what a freaking joke. They came from China. They took 5 weeks to get here. Literally came from China. They took 5 weeks to get here, and these shoes, I couldn't fit my hand in them. They're like this wide.
Boots.
Yeah, they are size 16s, right? But they are only this wide, and then they're like, that long. So they look like they're not even as wide as a 2x4, right? They're like they're like a 3 inches wide and like 19 inches long or something. It is the
Wow.
most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. So stupid.
Interesting.
Yeah, so don't fall for the those ads on Facebook. Those ads on Facebook are not real, and do not order them.
Right.
Well, I might have to go shopping in Texas because it's winter here. There's no summer clothes out, and I don't have much here. So I'll probably be coming with one t-shirt and one dress, and let's go shopping, girls.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Lindy, let me ask you this. So, there's this thing in Austin that I want to go to, but everybody else is kind of like, that sounds kind of dumb. But so they have this, like, I think it's a bridge where all these bats live under this bridge, and there's like millions of them or something. And like every evening, these bats come out at night, and it's like a river of bats, like coming out from underneath this bridge and flying out and, getting their insects or whatever. So I definitely want to check that out. I don't know if you've ever heard of anything like that.
Yeah, because my daughter's coming and she's actually got a list of things that she wants to do, and she mentioned bats. So yeah, that
Cool.
is on her list. So definitely, I'll count us in. We'll be
I
there.
would love to see that.
I told you what happened to the two photographers at that bat cave where the three
Yeah.
of them. That's the only thing that keeps running through my mind. Like ask them, what side of the bridge do these things leave and go on the other
Right.
side?
Yeah.
You don't want to be in the flight path of the
Yeah. Wear your
guano.
raincoat. Guano.
I know.
Yeah. No, count us in. We'll be there.
Todd ate tri-tip yesterday with apple cider vinegar, olive oil, and olive oil dressing. Why can't I get that word out? And it was delicious. Do you think it would work with melted butter and apple cider vinegar? Absolutely. I think it would work with melted butter and apple cider vinegar. I think it'd also work with melted tallow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it'd be great. Vinegar just works good with any liquid fat because it emulsifies it and makes it a wonderful dressing. Yeah, and I absolutely love the flavor of vinegar and beef. Like I was surprised. I shouldn't have been surprised, because Michael's Greek, but he was like, "Oh yeah, we put vinegar in our stews and anything with beef all the time. Like it's common in Greek cooking." I'm like, "Yeah, it's delicious."
I can do all kinds of vinegar, but the apple cider vinegar, can't do it. We're talking about shoes for a good portion of the stream, and to me, it smells like
It smells like feet. Yeah,
teenager shoes.
Yeah.
for sure.
I
For
can't
sure.
can't do it.
I don't blame you. I feel the same way about rice vinegar.
Mhm.
Rice vinegar is like the worst one that I've had. I don't mind just white vinegar. I like white vinegar.
Right.
I think Chafee is salt free now. I don't think he was before, but from what I know, I definitely heard him say, "I don't eat salt anymore," and that was maybe 2 months, maybe 2 or 3 months ago. Not even 3, about 2 months ago at SBG. I heard him say that with my own 2 ears.
Yeah,
Because
and that was in Bella's salt video. She had
Yeah.
that clip in there.
Yep. So, I'm not crazy. I know I heard the man himself say it, and I know he's a truthful dude, so.
Right.
His
I
his
see
son-
Sandra talking about the mother in raw apple cider vinegar.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nasty. I mean, to me, that looks like,
Giant
I'm
loogie
not even
ball.
going to say what it looks like, but
Oh, yeah, that is even
it's
worse.
disgusting looking.
Yeah, to me, it always looked like a giant lung butter floater on top
Yeah.
of it,
Yeah. Well, I made the mistake after my first child was born. So, it was my first child. So I didn't know what was really going on.
Yep.
And, I'm sitting there holding the baby and checking him out and everything. And then I heard him say push. And I thought, what? Why are they saying that for? Right. And I turn around, and wrong time to turn around and look. Needless to say, we were not having twins. So there's your apple cider vinegar mother. That's
Exactly. I know what you're talking
absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
about. Yeah, I'm gonna sit out the rest of these if you don't.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Bob got it right. Exactly.
Todd ate tri-tip dipped in homemade apple cider vinegar. Did we do this one already?
Yeah, I've done that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Somehow I came to it again.
Okay.
Satiety, I think it does mine. I feel like it. Well, I mean, there's definitely evidence to say it does because that's what the what is it, salt, sweet, fatty profile that they've crafted to light up all the like endorphin parts of your brain to give you like the trifecta. So I'm sure it, well, I mean, I know it does because I had to, when I was on lion diet, I had to put the salt back in because that was just too many strikes against my taste buds. Like I couldn't just go straight up lion and no salt. It was just too much. I was getting like meat aversion is why I ended up putting the salt back in because I couldn't eat enough. So it definitely made my appetite more. I don't know if it messes with leptin sensitivity, but I think it definitely makes you more hungry. You know,
Mm.
seems to
I'm not
me.
sure on that. So the salt was causing me to be nauseous. So I was eating less than I should have been. And
Mm,
since I've stopped it, man, I'm up to like 3 pounds of meat a day now. So
that's awesome. That's why we really do have to listen to everybody, because everybody's got a little bit different deficiency that's throwing them off. And I
mhm.
bet when we're all like optimal, I bet we're all very similar. But I bet it's the deficiencies that are changing what we need to do. You know, why everybody's a little bit different, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah, I love salt, but there's some days where I just don't want any. And so I just listen to my body. If one day I wake up and it's like, yeah, I need salt today, I'll have it. And then other days I just don't add any. So yeah,
I love that.
guess it's why my body's just saying, not today, you've got enough. We're all good.
Oh, here's another one of those comments that makes my hat not fit. Thank you so much. And I'll try to keep the sense of humor under wraps so that I don't drive you crazy. I gotta
Right.
have a little bit of that ADD brain. I don't want to put too much out there.
Don't diss the moo moo.
I hope that's not a carnivore uniform. I'm not
Um,
participating in the moo moo uniform.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
No, I like it came from I don't who am I gonna shake down in China? It took 5 weeks to get here. I don't even know where to return it. Those things are going to the Salvation Army for somebody with really tiny
Narrow
long.
feet.
Yeah, or you
Maybe.
know what they'd
Yeah.
be good is they should use them as ski boots, because or you what are those things that you use the snowshoes? They should use it as snowshoes because
Right.
that's what they look like for a light person with skinny feet.
I wonder
That's
if you
what
could
they
use
should.
it for like a revolver holster or something.
That's true. I could salvage the leather and maybe make a
Right.
something out of it. I don't know. It's so stupid what they did to it. I know I have to send everything to my sister's house because I live out in the boondocks, and FedEx says that I'm in, the black hole somewhere. I don't exist on the map. So I have to send everything to my sister's house. And I said, "Did I get boots?" And she goes, "Is that what those are?" Like, "Oh no, that's not a
That's
good
funny.
sign." She goes, "I don't know. These look like funny clown shoes that are half the like super skinny, like clown shoes that are too skinny. Like these aren't like a weird decoration or some kind of prop. Like, no, those are supposed to go on my feet." And she's like, "Maybe if you sewed two together,
Yeah. There you go.
maybe you could get in them." I was like, "Oh no, this is not good." Let's, let's see. I'm looking for questions. Sorry if I'm missing anything. I am so behind. Also, Adam, tell me if you got to go, and I didn't. We didn't talk about anything before.
Right.
Yeah, your child will keep you here for 3 hours.
Exactly.
I'm rather enjoying the drone that's circling your head.
Is there a drone circling my head?
Well, every time you move, the drone follows
Oh,
you.
oh, that's right. I got the craziness going on. Yeah, I put the auto zoom back on so that I could drive everybody crazy because they wonder what happens there. Uh, when is the Austin meeting? Sounds like it'll be an all-star event. I don't know what anybody is talking about. Oh, I think they mean the Hack Your
Hack your
Health.
health.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is what is it? The
30th of May. So 31st of May. Till,
31st, 1st, and 2nd, right?
yeah, and 3rd.
I think just the 3 days.
Hmm.
Yep.
And then I think SBG is having a meetup Saturday at someplace.
11:30.
Yeah, at 11:30. So
Yeah, I don't think
look,
it's announced yet. Yeah.
yeah, look out for that. But I think that'll be coming out. So uh, Dr. Chafe said he's also not recommending for most people to go salt free. Okay. Well, I'm not that guy yet, but there again, Adam's ready for it, and it's. I mean, it
Yeah.
doesn't hurt to try. To try something.
Yeah.
And
Now,
just
if I
see.
notice, I'm deficient or getting dizzy or something like that down the road, then yeah, I'll eat some more salt. I mean, I love the taste of it. So
Yeah.
it was to the point where I think it was an addiction for me. I was eating probably at least a minimum of 2 tablespoons of salt a day, and it was probably more like 3. So I was eating a lot of salt.
Mm.
Yeah, I was eating a bunch too. I heard a guy saying, it was funny. It was trying to think whose video that was. I was listening to a video in the last day or two, but he was like, some people eat up to 2,000 milligrams of salt a day. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that's
Like,
one bite of steak for me.
exactly. I was like 2,000. I mean, I don't know how much I actually get in my mouth
Right.
before I cook a steak, I put like 8,000 milligrams on a ribeye on both sides, and I grind it in,
Right.
and then I fry it, and sure, some of it comes off, but then I slice it up, and then I put Malden on top of it as well, and finish it like I dry brine it with like 8,000 milligrams or more of salt, and then sure, some of it runs off, but then I put Malden on top, and I just eat it up,
Right.
and so yeah, I'm sure I put 10,000 milligrams on a steak. I don't know how much I actually end up eating that didn't run off, but
Right. Sounds
it's a
like you
lot.
just need a salt lick and some amino acids. You're good to go.
Exactly.
Just skip
Well,
the
and
steak.
that brings us to another question, actually. So I use these guys here, these optimal aminos, and basically amino acid therapy. What is that? Who is the gal that the doctor that Emily and Raymond did the video with that does amino
Oh,
acid therapy?
Georgia was her name, was it? Was it
Not,
Dr.
it's not
No?
George Eid, and
No. Yeah. I'll have a look. I'll see if I can find the video.
yeah, and so basically, I don't know much about it. I just jumped in with both feet, but basically, it's coming off the theory that we're so malnourished that instead of having to eat all this extra protein and fat, you can take amino acid supplements for the 8. And I don't know why there's some fight between people that say that there's 8 essential amino acids, and then some people say there's 9 essential amino acids, and some people say that the one amino acid doesn't count. And like whatever, these are supposed to be all the essential amino acids that your body can't make, that it needs to get out of food, and you take them as a supplement, and then things started healing for me. Like my lymphedema started healing, started growing hair back, my eyebrows grew back real thick, which you've heard me talk about before. But because of hyperthyroidism, that much of my eyebrows on the ends were gone. Eyesight got better, lots of things got better, and then you had some effects with it, though. I know Lindy did too. Both of us started moving fluid more, but Adam, you had some effects with those too, didn't you?
Yeah, it definitely increased my appetite for sure. And I did notice, so because I have an autoimmune condition, my body doesn't absorb nutrients as much as it should, which, I think I can't even imagine where I'd be over the past year if I had been doing that in combination with not having the salt, because my appetite is like super increased, which means my body's telling me that it needs nutrients. I don't think it's wanting calories. So I've just been nutrient deficient for a very long time, and yeah, it helped with building muscle. It helped with my appetite increased with it as well. So if you're having an issue with eating too little, not eating enough, I would definitely try the aminos, because I think that happened with you as well, didn't it, Todd?
Absolutely, it did. And I even found out it's such an appetite driver for me that I can't fast and take amino acids at the same time. It was making fasting like really hard because my body was like, "No, you're not. You're going to eat about 7 pounds of meat today."
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, normally I would eat like 6 eggs, in the morning, and then a pound to 2 pounds of meat in the evening or afternoon and evening. And it got to the point where I was like, go from 6 eggs to 9 eggs to 12 eggs. And then I'm eating like at least 2 pounds of meat, moving into 3 pounds of meat. So it was a significant jump in appetite for sure. And my body was absorbing it. It wasn't coming out the other end like you would think that would happen. So that was something else that was pretty incredible.
right. And what does that tell us, right? when me and Adam talked about this, but what does that tell us when our bodies are absorbing it and you're not just getting diarrhea from eating all this excess food? If your
Yep.
body's absorbing it and calling for it, you need it. There is
Yep.
nutrients in there that you were lacking that your body needed. And that's what priming is all about. And that's what amino acid therapy is all about. And that's what SBG, teaches. And it's so funny because it makes so much sense when you think about what you're not putting out to the tailpipe. You go to Taco Bell, you got to wonder if there was anything good in there, you didn't absorb it because you shot it out the other end like 2 hours later,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and seriously, I sit here now and I look at people that go, "Oh, you're dumb for eating red meat. That stuff's going to give you butt cancer." And then meanwhile, I'm like, what's not normal is to have the screaming, running memes twice a day every time you eat and never keep anything down. I'm like, you guys are the ones that are weird that think it's normal to go eat yourself into a diarrhea fit every time. Like you're not, none of that's absorbing. Your body's like, hey, thanks for giving me the poison from hell here that I now have to just like blow out the other end. You know what I mean? It's like crazy. So, I mean, it's funny when you get on this side and you can see it. And then everybody's like, you only poop every 3 days. I'm like, yeah, it's because my body's using it and it's turning it into muscle and it's strength and energy. And it's so clean, that it's incredible, and now I go, how are there so many people out there getting bloaty and farty and having 2 greasy bowel movements a day and using up piles of toilet paper, and they think that's okay, and they think we're the weird ones because we don't fart anymore and we take clean poops every
Yeah. Right.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah. That interview was with Dr. Regina, and I've linked it in your WhatsApp, Todd.
Oh, thank you. I'll pull it up right now.
It's on Raymond Nazon's channel. Yeah, Dr. Regina. And I think someone asked what other brands we use. I've used Perfect Aminos. I've also used the Optimal. And I think now NOW is another one that's a little cheaper, but that was also recommended, I believe, in that video, which Todd will link.
And I just put it right there.
Yeah, the Perfect Aminos, I seen something in their Facebook group where they changed the formula or something. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but somebody said something about it.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah, everybody was asking about the amino acid. Sorry if I missed any questions again. When I posted that, I got shot down here to the bottom. Oh, okay, here's where I remember this is where I was at. I am not drinking anything but water.
I drink coffee socially once a week, and I do like a peppermint tea at night because it's cold, but occasionally I'll have a bone broth instead. So yeah, that's about it.
Water for me, and tea I have never drank. I drank it once and I almost threw up. So yeah, tea to me is to me it tastes like you just got done mowing the grass and you just take some of them clippings and maybe some sticks or something that you found in the yard, crumble them up and throw it in water and let it sit for a little bit and then drink it. That's just tea I can't take it.
Kale and arugula smoothies taste to me when people try to juice kale and arugula. I'm like, well, they're like, how isn't this so good? I'm like, it tastes like you just went out and grabbed weeds out of the backyard and put them in the blender. Yeah. I'm like, so no.
You're eating leaf juice and it's like, oh man, I don't know. You call it tea to make it sound like something good,
Right. Thank you so much. You're an inspiration. Just found you today. May God richly bless you. You were born for such a time as this. Your light is brightly shining on those of us that feel hopeless. Well, thank you so much, Anna. And we all definitely pray that you will get the answer, answer that we've all gotten, it's been a true answer to prayer for sure. Let's see here. All right, I'm going down to the next question. Looking for questions. Please put a Q in front of yours. Okay. I see a question mark. That's close enough.
Yay.
Who makes so yeah, well, I put that or mine is optimal aminos. Trying to get that
Yeah.
in. There we go.
I've got the optimal at the moment.
Yeah. And that's the one I like because it's one of the higher quality ones, but it's half as price as the perfect amino. So I'm quite enjoying those a lot better because the other ones were getting expensive at $150 a bottle.
Yeah, I'm doing the optimals now too, but I'm not doing it the optimal priming level like
Yeah,
you were
I'm not.
taught, like guzzling a whole bottle.
I was taking 80
minute amount.
I was taking 80 pills a day, and now I'm just doing 30, and I only do it, which is actually like 15 a day because I fast. I eat 84 hours of the week. I fast 84 hours of the week, and I only take them now when I'm eating because I can't fast with those dang things. They are just like they're
Make
like,
you
oh,
hungry.
yeah, they do.
Yeah.
You wake up and one night I was chewing on my pillow. I was like, oh, this ain't good.
That's funny.
Yeah. Todd lists the brand. Where are we at here?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. What is? Oh, she just answered that same thing.
Yeah, I've answered that.
I pretty much I've never bought unsalted butter, so I pretty much only eat salted butter.
Yeah, the only time I bought unsalted butter was in a recipe that called for it for chocolate chip cookies or something like that. Some specific ingredient that I had to have, and it was unsalted. But when I was eating butter, it was always salted.
I buy it unsalted because I like to salt it myself. I don't know what type of salt they put in the butter.
Lindy says there's not enough salt in it.
Yeah, I like to put my own salt in. So, yeah, unsalted for me.
This is hilarious. Rick, you nailed it. Ducks poop every 15 minutes.
My bird poops every 5 minutes.
Oh, goodness.
The other one every half hour, but yeah, geez.
Hello, gorgeous.
Gorgeouses.
Gorgeouses. I also started the lion diet this time with no salt and lost over 15 pounds in less than 11 days. Congratulations. I'm still having a hard time with what's that word? Prostatitis and stiffness, pain. Any suggestions? Whew. I mean, do you have any lymphatic problems, or because like all my pain goes away except for if I have lymphatic swelling for not getting the lymphatic system moving. Like if I have pain now, I know I need to get the lymphatic system moving. I know I had a slack butt day and I need to get things moving. That always fixes it for me. But so that would be interesting.
And I found when I was doing the lion diet, I wasn't getting enough fat. So I had to add a bit of extra tallow to my meat. So that could be another thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one because prostatitis is inflammation, I think. And it looks like if that's all you're doing, that's pretty low inflammation diet. So maybe I know stress can increase inflammation in your body. So maybe make sure that you're managing your stress levels.
And also another funny thing now that I'm thinking about it. So I used to think this oxalate dumping stuff was silliness because I didn't experience any of it. What I was realizing is that I was so like my body had bigger fish to fry at the time, and now that I'm getting healthier and that my body's running good, now it's starting to oxalate dump, and I'm like, oh, that's what people are talking about because I get rashes on my stomach, right around my belly button, on my sides. It gets real itchy. I get it on my back and on the bottom of my legs now. And I even picked one of those stupid crystals. I thought I was getting a zit, and one of those stupid crystals came out of my forehead. And that's when I knew, okay, this really is ox dumping. Because it wasn't like it's a crystal. It was weird. So I wonder if when you're ox dumping, I know that I felt funny. Somebody said this too. They said, remember I caught COVID about 4 weeks ago or something. And that just before I caught COVID, I was itching everywhere. And somebody said the only time I've been sick on carnivore is when I was ox dumping. That's when I caught a cold. And I was like, I was itching before I caught carnivore and I had these oxalate rashes. So I was inflamed and then I got sick and I was in a state of inflammation. So I wonder if oxalate dumping, I haven't done it enough to know, but I wonder if oxalate dumping causes a state of inflammation, you know?
Could very well. I'm sure it does. Like when I had it coming out of my back, it was red and inflamed. So, I mean, it's, I would say
Okay.
that it happens internally as well.
Maybe
Yeah.
check out Sally K. Norton. She's the oxalate queen,
Yep.
and she might have some resources, or have a look at her videos.
For sure.
Mm.
Absolutely, Beth. Adam is the man.
Well, thank you, Beth. I appreciate that.
Let's see. And you got people rolling out there, Adam.
I thought you had them with the truck nuts.
That reminds me of the green juice video. Absolutely. You guys remember the In Living Color skit Jim Carrey did as the juice man or whatever? When he was juicing like his underwear and he was
Oh yeah, that was nasty.
That's so gross. I was laughing so hard though. He's like, you got any weasels in the front yard? Put like a weasel in there. It was the weasel juicer. That was so good. Oh, I love that. Let's see. That's what tea is, but some folks like it. I feel that way about Lugol's. Yeah. Lugol's. You know what's funny? Lugol's definitely tastes like, because I don't know if I've told you guys. Well, I probably didn't. So I told everybody after watching Ken Berry's video with Brownstein about iodine, I started taking 25 drops of Lugol's, which is 25 milligrams. For those of you taking J. Crew, I know you think that that's wrong, but I'm taking a different, it's still Lugol's if I could find the bottle. It's just like Nature's Choice Organic, which is a different concentrate. It even says 2% on it, but trust me when I say it's 1 milligram per drop, because I've done the math a bunch of times because people had me second, triple guessing myself. But anyway, so I was taking 25 milligrams. And then everybody's like, whoa, that's too much. You're going to get hurt. You're going to have hyperthyroidism, goiters, all these things, in which thank you for your concern. So I said, okay, well, I won't go any higher until I talk to Ken Berry. So I talked to Ken Berry on Wednesday night and I asked him, he goes, do you have any kidney problems? And I'm like, none. He's like, then you're fine. If you take too much, your kidneys are just going to sort it out and you're going to pee it out. So you don't have to worry about it. I'm like, perfect. So I went back and I watched this video again. I talked to a guy in Baker's group this morning, and he said, yeah, after watching more videos by Brian Steen, I found out that 25 milligrams is the least he has people start on iodine. And he said 50 milligrams is more like it. So I actually bumped it up to 50 drops of iodine today. And so I am right there with you on the Lugol's. Today was rough. Swallowing 50.
Man.
Yeah, 50 drops of Lugol's. It was stout. Like I've had some homemade White Lightning. It's easier to shoot.
Dude. Yeah, that's like you're drinking a stout or something, like you need a beer mug to drink that.
It was. It made my teeth hairy for sure.
Why are you doing that?
Dude, when I tell you, I told Ken Berry, it's like, man, you know how everybody's like, oh, take, whatever root extract of ergon root or whatever, and it's the greatest thing you've ever done, and it's going to change your life, and it's a spiritual like everybody my whole life has told me how this supplement is going to just make me a new person, and the clouds are going to open up and it's going to be a religious experience. And I was taking, I'm like, I don't feel a damn thing. It never does anything for me. Nothing. The only things that have done anything for me was early on, electrolytes did something for me. I needed those. And then after that, B1, K2, and blue-green algae, or sea kelp, which is also an iodine supplement. Those things did something for me, but I never separated them. I think it was the sea kelp now. But then this. And so to give you an idea, before I started Carnivore, I was taking TRT. I did it for about 6 weeks. The first injection of testosterone, because my testosterone is in the tank. First injection of testosterone I ever gave myself, I got a massive headache. I had to go home from work. It was so bad. They gave it to myself at work like an idiot. And I had a reaction. I had to go home because I had such a headache. I couldn't take it. And I had to go lay down, and I was like, oh, did I just screw up big time or what? But after an hour, it went away. And when I opened my eyes, it was like I could see color for the first time. I'm not joking. All the colors were so vivid and bright. Things weren't clearer. It's just everything was so deep and vivid. It was like in 4K. It was just so bright. I was like, what is going on? I never experienced anything like that before. And that was when I realized that my thyroid, because they say that something about your thyroid. Well, anyhow, I stopped after 6 weeks because I found out well, your nuts can shrink and you'll stop making testosterone. I'm like, well, that's a problem. So I wanted to give the natural things a shot at it. So, the very first time I took the Lugol's and took down, actually, I think I only took 6 drops down that first day. I got a little bit of a headache, not as bad as with the shot, but I could see colors again. And ever since then, and it's not like I stopped seeing colors before, but it feels like that when I take it. All the colors are so vivid and everything's so much brighter. And also, I don't have this eye strain that I keep having or was having before. That's why I got these glasses. These are blue blocking glasses. So I'm like, I got to do something because I look at screens so much. But my eye strain went away. I see so much better. You can probably hear me being able to see the words on the screen better than I used to because my eyes are working so much better. And then my energy went through the roof. And it's like, it's the first thing. And I told that to Ken Berry. Ken Berry said, it's the same with me. He goes, I've never taken a supplement in my life that did a damn thing. But he said iodine was day and night difference. And so I think if you're low on it, it's pretty crazy. So,
man, I think I just stepped into the twilight zone. You're drinking like beer mugs full of iodine and you're seeing more vivid colors. And now we got Brett in the chat talking about mixing Lugol's with apple cider vinegar. What in the world is going on?
So maybe Brett is saying that we're making some sort of redneck version of what is that, MDMA or whatever, that psychedelic
carnivore cocktail or something going on here.
Let's see. What is that?
But he promotes a Surul. It's like a supplement range, and there's one for stem cell, and I think there's 5 or 6 of them. I haven't actually had any of them, but
never heard of such a thing.
Yeah, he promotes it on a lot of his videos now, but I haven't encountered anyone that's used them, so I can't comment. Yeah.
I think somebody put it in here. Let's see. Here's another question. Let's see. I really went through the actual dumping, face itching and flares. I thought it was a spider that bit me everywhere. Wow, that sounds familiar. How do you deal with your lymphatic system again? It's kind of a process, but carnivore, first of all, get rid of the inflammation. Then I would say the second thing in my routine is the Wim Hof breathing to open up the diaphragm. Sleep with my legs elevated. I've never done the compression socks. I've tried them, but my legs were too big to wear them because they would get too tight, and that's actually counterproductive when they're too tight.
Yeah.
But then shake plates, amino acid therapy, and then just movement, and then
rebounding.
Lindy, I was going to say Lindy's got the rebounder she loves.
Yeah, just a gentle rebound is very healing as well. Helps a lot.
That's the quick run through. Shoot.
Have you thought about just having 3 doses throughout the day instead of in one hit?
I have. I didn't until this morning. This morning, I 25 was doable. 50 literally made my teeth feel fuzzy.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine mixing Lugol's with apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar makes me want to throw up by itself, and then throwing in iodine on top of that. You might as well throw in that smoothie that Jim Carrey was making. just finish it off.
We just made B-Dog have a flashback. Oh, about how many teaspoons is 50 milliliters? Good Lord, I don't know. Uh, I said milligrams, not milliliters. If you take 50 milliliters of iodine, you're going to be one sick puppy. So
Yeah.
I hope
Be
that's not what
careful. Yeah. Be careful with the iodine. Yeah. Don't do it, Todd. Don't
Yeah,
be
I'm
Todd.
not, by the way, yes, disclaimer, I'm not a doctor and I'm not telling anybody to do this. I'm just saying I will be your crash test dummy. Wait to see what happens when I hit the wall before you do any of this, is what I would say for sure. I'm just speaking what I'm doing. I'm not telling anybody to do anything. Yeah, for me, it absolutely did. If carnivore diet will help your smell and taste get better, I 100%. I guess it depends on what your idea of better is. I smell so much better, in my opinion, that when I go to restaurants now, I can smell seed oil burning, and I go, "Oh, this is why they may say that it's putrid because it stinks."
Yeah.
Restaurants stink like feet to me now. I never noticed it before. So
Right.
And
yeah.
even taste, if there's a little bit of spice in my meat, if I go out or something, it's like that taste lingers in my mouth for 3 or 4 days afterwards, and it's not a pleasant taste. So, whether that's good or bad, I don't know. I prefer just to keep everything clean now and not have that unpleasant taste.
Holy cow. Homestead How, thank you so much. We got a super chat.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
Oh,
You could,
yay.
you could go back to the start of your carnivore journey and give yourself a retrospective advice. What would it be? P.S. You three rock. Thanks so much, Carrie. Man, you go first, Adam.
Give myself retrospective advice. Well, seeing since I went through this recent debacle with salt, it would probably, not specific to that, but more in general. So just kind of take things as a guideline with the diet. I'd basically tell myself, don't be so dogmatic about things. Everybody says beef, salt, water. It's got to be this way or that way. Um, listen to your body and you be the captain of your ship, like Carrie says as I knock over the mic. You be the captain of your ship and understand what works for you and what doesn't. Do your research, dig in, be a little bit of a science nerd, and really understand these things, and just literally just listen to your body, because when you start listening to other people, you start getting led down these trails that may not be applicable to you. And I took beef, salt, and water, and you need to add salt and these sorts of things is sort of like the green light for me to really just dump it on. And for my physiology, it wasn't working for me. So if I had more control over that and listened to my body more from the beginning, I think it would have been better for me. And I feel like I'm a new person now, because I'm not dealing with that nausea. So that would be what I would tell myself. Just pay attention.
What do you think, Lindy?
Oh gosh, just to trust the process. I was being coached by Emily and Raymond, and I'd be saying, how many grams of protein and how much fat should I have? I wanted specific numbers, and it used to drive me crazy when they said, don't worry about that, just eat until you're comfortably stuffed and stop. And I'm like, no, I need a number. And after every coaching session, I'd get off and cry. It was so stressful. And it wasn't until I let that go and listened to their advice that, I was able to relax and just get moving with my journey. But I still continued to restrict fat, and because of that, I lost a lot of hair. So don't be frightened of the fat. You need the fat. So that did sabotage my health a little bit, and now I'm eating lots of fat, and the scales are still dropping. So it's all crap. And I started thinking, I didn't trust the process. I thought I was going to fail. It'll be another diet failure. I regret not taking photos. Take before and after photos. I think they're so important, and I regret it now. I wish I had those full-length photos. I know Todd's got one. I don't. I mean, the full length I've got from the doorbell, and I was 6 months already into carnivore, and I lost a lot of weight in that first, 6 months. I just don't have a photo. So do take your photos and trust the process and eat your fat.
I love that.
That's huge for sure. And yeah, I think for me it was, if I had to do it over again, I would concentrate more on understanding that there's a reason we all got sucked. We're all in this boat together, right? And there's a reason that it happened. It wasn't because we're, we're all flawed, but it wasn't that we're extraordinarily broken or flawed. It's because we're under attack. We really are. And so we need to know that, because when I started understanding that, that's when I was able to stop beating myself up and start understanding that there's an enemy out there and we need to fight it. And it's giving us bad information on purpose, and it doesn't have our well-being in mind. And then once you break free from the fear mongering, because it really is fear mongering, they're trying to, I mean, listen what they say. They go, if you eat red meat, you're going to have heart disease, which is the number one killer in the United States. You're going to get prostate cancer. That's going to kill you. You're going to have a stroke, whatever. You're going to get cancer, all these things. They tell you all this stuff. And then they get you scared, and then they back it up with all this nonsense. But if you just back up and you look, you go, everybody's sick.
Mm.
If they were so smart and they were the arbiters of truth and healing, why is everybody sick, right? Why is everybody worse off? So I would keep that firmly in mind. And then the other thing was something that really has stuck out to me, because I've been trying to figure out, I've been very blessed, and all of us here have been very blessed to get on this way of eating and stay on it. It's been kind of a freedom for us. It kind of freed us from addictions and sickness, and it gave us our life back, and it's given us everything back, And I was trying to think why, and not to get preachy with people, but trust me, this will come back to a good point. I am a Christian. I was reading my Bible and stuff, and when I realized what repentance really means, when you're a kid and they're beating the kind of hellfire and brimstone preaching at you, repentance means, people think it means to say you're sorry and turn from your sins, but it doesn't. When you really read the Hebrew, it actually says to turn toward Jesus, right? And to keep that your focus. Well, on a carnivore reason, what I'm trying to say here is, all my life I used to think about the things that I didn't want to eat. I used to think about the diet that the addiction that I was trying to quit. With carnivore, I don't do that. With carnivore, I think about, I stay in the carnivore community. I stay talking to awesome people like Adam and Lindy and the SBG gang, and I learn from you guys. And I stay inundated with the carnivore community instead of listening to all the propaganda and the fear mongering and the all the white coats telling us that we're going to die. Instead, I listen to the carnivore community, which is the truth. That's the true news that Adam's talking about. And that is what repentance is, when you turn your focus away from what was killing you and you put it into the focus that can heal you. And so the trick is not to look at it like a diet and think about what you're not eating. It's to get into this community, learn about what heals you, and stay there, because that's what really changes your mind, is by focusing on that. If you go back, you fall off. If you go back to listening to the doctors and watching the news tell you about cholesterol and crap, you start letting it in your head and you fall off of that. And I really think that's the difference this time, because I got so mad when I found out that they were fighting against me that I got out of that world. I turned my focus from that, put it into this community, and now I stay here. Now I'm a weed. I grew here. Like, you're not getting rid of me here. And now I just know it's so strong. There's no pulling me out of this. There's no scaring me. There's no talking me out of this. This is my new way. And so I don't know. I didn't say that as well as I wanted to, but if really it's just staying focused in this and not letting the lies and the fear talk you out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Couldn't have said it better myself. So I want to give a shout out to my brother Kerry, Homestead Hal. So everybody that's watching, if you haven't subscribed to his channel yet, I find it nearly impossible that is the case. But please go subscribe to his channel at Homestead Hal. Not only that, subscribe to one of his daughter's channels, Emma the Carnivore, and then his other daughter, Katie, which is Outdoor Katie. That's the name of her channel. And Jen's channel, I Create Crafts. So if you're not subscribed to those channels, please go support them. They're absolute rock stars in the carnivore community. And you're never going to find a better, for lack of a better word, Carrie, cheerleader. But there are male cheerleaders, so it's not a bad thing, I guess.
You're not the one doing the on the top of the pyramid doing the pom-pom thing. You're the dude. You're the strong dude at the bottom.
Exactly. So yeah, everybody go subscribe to them. He's got the documentary project going on, Healing Humanity: The Power of a Proper Human Diet. That YouTube channel is Healing Humanity Movie. So at Healing Humanity Movie, that's also Carrie owns that as well. So please go subscribe to that. So I couldn't leave before giving the shout outs.
Absolutely. And also, yeah, Carrie's a super good dude. I don't know him near as good as Adam does, but a super good dude. I'm looking forward to meeting both of you guys, all three.
Yay!
Absolutely.
Short period of time. It's going to be so good. Yeah, Homestead Hal. It's funny. Someday I'm gonna have to talk to Carrie. You know, I sent him a message way early on, before Bill, before he met Bill even, and he shouted out my comment, but it was at Todd Bachnes. I didn't have a carnivore cure, but he read my comment once. I'm gonna have to go back and find that video way back then. Or I don't think he didn't read it on the video, but he replied to it because it was crazy. Because I was like, I'm 700 pounds, but I was laughing. I was like, I'm gonna have to find that comment sometime because that was about. I think he was about 2 months into it or something. 2 months into carnivore, so it was way back there. But yeah, and then shout out to Brett, who's your carnivore. He's in here. Shout out to Carnivore Scott. He's in here. DC Learning to Live was in here.
Yeah.
Was I missing anybody?
Bob Eater. We got Sandra in there. One Hope for All.
Yep, Sandra, One Hope for All.
And B Dog. I don't know some of these people's real names. So we got Susan Hampton.
Yep, Susan, awesome cheerleader. She's in all of these.
Yep.
Sandra's in all of these.
Beth.
Yep, Beth. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we hit 2 hours, 2 hours and 7 minutes, actually.
Wow. Good job.
Energy.
You did it, Todd. You did it, buddy.
You survived.
Thank you guys. And we're at 121 people when we're about to cut out of here. But thank you so much for you guys showing up. It's awesome. This was just a seat of the pants thing. Definitely thank you to Adam for coming out and hanging out with us and helping us test the software.
Thanks
Adam,
to both of you.
Oh, it's awesome. And this is for some special stuff coming up. So thank you so much for supporting it. And we will hold on before I say this there. Okay. I had to make sure I knew where the button was to end the stream before I said goodbye, and then had like 12 minutes awkward silence while I pressed at the screen.
Thank you so much, everybody. Much love. And we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you. Bye.